Chosen one, you are not listening to this by accident. You were drawn here by divine appointment, by a moment that heaven itself has marked. The same God who orders seasons and shifts destinies has aligned your steps to this message, because you are standing at the edge of a change that will not announce itself loudly. There is a door opening before you, and it does not look the way most people expect wealth or elevation to look. Chosen one, when you get rich, there will be signs, but not the kind the world celebrates. This is not about noise, applause, or proving anything to anyone. This is about wisdom that preserves what God releases. Scripture reminds us in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 that the vision awaits its appointed time, and when it comes, it will not lie. What is coming toward you carries speed, but it also requires silence. Sudden elevation attracts attention, and attention attracts interference. Heaven is teaching you restraint before release. Anointed one, this is a season where God is shifting you from desire to discernment. The question is no longer whether provision is coming, but whether you will protect it once it arrives. Divine wealth transfer does not arrive to impress others, but to establish freedom, legacy, and alignment. What you are stepping into will test your obedience more than your faith. And sometimes, God does not reinforce these truths through explanations or voices. Sometimes there is simply something quiet, simple, and steady that waits for you, already prepared below. Chosen one, what heaven is teaching you right now is not how to get rich, but how to survive what comes after the blessing arrives. Many people pray for increase, but very few are prepared for the weight that comes with it. Wealth is not only a reward, it is a responsibility, and when it shows up too loudly, it attracts eyes that were never meant to see your life up close. This is why the instruction is not dramatic, but precise. When you get rich, tell no one. Anointed one, there is a reason the most protected things in Scripture were hidden before they were revealed. Seeds grow in darkness. Oil is pressed in private. Even Jesus withdrew when crowds became too hungry for access instead of truth. Heaven is not trying to limit you, it is trying to shield you. What is coming toward you is real, and because it is real, it must be guarded. I have learned this not from theory, but from watching what attention does to people who were not ready for it. I have seen favor turn into pressure, generosity turn into obligation, and blessing turn into burden, simply because too many people were allowed into a season they were never assigned to. The moment people know what you have, they begin to feel entitled to it, not because they are evil, but because human nature reaches for what it can see. Chosen one. There are wealthy people walking among the crowd right now who look ordinary on purpose. They wear simple clothes, drive unremarkable cars, and live quietly, not because they lack taste, but because they value peace more than performance. They understand something the world refuses to teach. Privacy is not secrecy, it is stewardship. Security is not fear, it is wisdom. When money and visibility rise together, risk multiplies. This is not superstition, this is reality. Attention creates exposure, and exposure creates vulnerability. I have watched how quickly people study your schedule, your habits, your patterns, once they believe there is something to gain from knowing them. You do not need enemies for this to happen. Sometimes it comes from strangers. Sometimes it comes from family. Sometimes it comes from people who once loved you. There was a man who received sudden wealth without preparation, and his story did not end in celebration. He wanted to help everyone. He wanted to be generous. He wanted to say yes. But generosity without boundaries is not love, it is leakage. When money arrives before discernment, it does not heal pressure, it amplifies it. The attention he received did not protect him, it consumed him. What should have been provision became isolation, regret, and loss. Anointed one, heaven does not want that story repeated in your life. This is why you are being taught restraint before release. Silence is not punishment, it is protection. There are blessings that cannot survive exposure. There are seasons where speaking less preserves more. When God increases you, He does not remove human nature from those around you. Jealousy does not announce itself. Comparison hides behind smiles. Even people who love you may quietly struggle when your life begins to look different from theirs. This does not make them bad people, it makes them human. But it does mean you must be wise. I have learned that peace is easier to keep when people cannot measure you. Negotiations are cleaner when assumptions are absent. Relationships are purer when money is not the invisible third voice in the room. The moment people know what you make, what you have, or what you can afford, conversations change. Expectations shift. Costs rise. Boundaries are tested. Chosen one. There is also a grounding that comes from not inflating your lifestyle. When everything around you screams success, your identity can slowly drift from purpose to image. But when you remain simple, your heart stays clear. Experiences begin to matter more than possessions. Time becomes more valuable than display. Freedom starts to feel richer than applause. I have found that some of the most joyful moments in life are not expensive, but intentional. Time with people who knew you before the blessing. Quiet mornings without pressure. The ability to choose rest without explanation. These are luxuries money was meant to serve, not replace. The world teaches you to show proof. Heaven teaches you to show fruit. Proof seeks validation. Fruit speaks for itself. When your wealth is quiet, your life can be loud in the ways that matter. Your health improves. Your relationships stabilize. Your purpose sharpens. This is why the instruction feels counterintuitive but holy. When you get rich, tell no one. Not because you are ashamed, but because you are entrusted. Not because you fear loss, but because you understand timing. There is a season to speak, and there is a season to keep. And as this truth settles, remember that God does not always reinforce His wisdom through explanations or noise. Sometimes there is simply something quiet, steady, and already prepared, resting just below, waiting to be returned to when the weight of this understanding needs a place to land. Chosen one. What you are learning now is that silence is not emptiness. It is discipline. There is a maturity that heaven waits for before releasing certain levels of provision, because money does not simply add options, it reveals foundations. When resources increase, whatever is unhealed rises with them. Whatever is unstable becomes louder. Whatever is unresolved begins to demand attention. This is why God trains you in quiet seasons before visible ones. Anointed one, there is a hidden cost to being known too soon. Attention changes how people listen to you. Advice becomes flattery. Concern becomes curiosity. Even generosity can become manipulation when people believe they are entitled to what flows through your hands. Heaven is not delaying you out of denial. Heaven is calibrating you so that what arrives does not corrupt your peace. I have watched how money changes rooms the moment it is perceived. Conversations shift, expectations grow, subtle pressure enters the air. People begin to count what you should give, what you should pay, what you should tolerate. Not always out of malice, but out of assumption. The unspoken belief becomes you can afford it, so you should carry it. This is how blessing becomes burden when boundaries are absent. Chosen one. There is also wisdom in not allowing others to calculate your life through numbers. When people know your income, your losses, your gains, they begin to define you through arithmetic instead of character. They assume your strength. They dismiss your stress. They minimize your humanity. Silence preserves your right to be seen as a person, not a resource. Scripture teaches that wisdom cries out quietly, not loudly. Discernment does not announce itself. It watches, it listens, it waits. This is why God often instructs his people to move differently than the crowd, not to appear humble, but to remain free. Freedom is harder to maintain than success, and freedom requires discretion. I have learned that some of the most powerful protection comes from being underestimated. When people do not know what you carry, they cannot target it. They cannot price it. They cannot strategize around it. Your yes stays pure. Your no stays respected. Negotiations stay balanced. Relationships stay grounded. Anointed one, this is also about guarding your heart from pride disguised as celebration. The urge to show is often rooted in old wounds that want validation, but validation fades quickly while consequences linger. What feels good in a moment can create expectations that follow you for years. God is inviting you into a different reward system, one where peace outweighs praise. There is a reason many wealthy people choose simplicity, not because they lack access, but because they understand attention taxes the soul. Expensive things come with maintenance, explanation, and comparison. They quietly ask you to perform even when you are tired. But simplicity gives you room to breathe, to move, to choose rest without apology. Chosen one. This season is teaching you how to enjoy without announcing, how to provide without proving, how to live well without living loudly. These are not limitations, they are skills. Skills that will preserve your joy when the numbers change. And understand this: people will still sense something different about you. Peace has a frequency, stability has a presence. You do not need to explain it. You do not need to justify it. What God is doing in your life will be evident without being exposed. Sometimes the greatest sign of wealth is not what you own, but what you are no longer stressed by. The absence of panic, the ability to pause, the freedom to say no without fear. These are the fruits heaven protects fiercely. And again, God does not always anchor these lessons through loud correction. Sometimes there is simply something quiet and steady that waits beneath the surface, already placed there, ready to hold you when discernment feels heavy and restraint feels lonely. Chosen one. There is another layer to this instruction, and it touches relationships more deeply than finances. Wealth changes dynamics, even when it is unspoken. When people believe you have more, they unconsciously place you higher. When they place you higher, comparison follows. Comparison breeds distance, even in friendships that once felt safe. Anointed one. Jealousy rarely announces itself as hatred. It often shows up as silence, subtle shifts, or jokes that carry edges. Even those who love you may wrestle internally when your life moves forward faster than theirs. This does not make them enemies, but it does mean you must move with wisdom. I have seen friendships strain not because of arrogance, but because of visibility. The moment success becomes obvious, people begin to measure themselves against you, and when they do, something fragile enters the relationship. Silence, again, becomes protection. Not to hide joy, but to preserve connection. Chosen one. There is also practical wisdom in keeping your financial position undefined. When people cannot calculate you, they cannot leverage you. Contractors cannot inflate. Negotiations remain fair. Expectations remain reasonable. You avoid becoming the person others assume can absorb every extra cost or obligation. Human behavior is predictable when incentives are clear. When someone believes you can afford more, they will often charge more. Not always maliciously, but instinctively. Silence removes the incentive. It keeps interactions clean. It keeps transactions honest. Anointed One, this restraint also keeps you grounded. When your life does not revolve around display, your identity stays anchored. You remember where you came from. You remember what mattered before the increase. You stay connected to experiences instead of accumulating symbols. True fulfillment grows from moments, not objects. Time with people who see you, not what you have. Space to rest. Freedom to choose how you spend your days. These are the rewards wealth was meant to unlock, not replace. I have learned that when money becomes loud, life becomes complicated. When money stays quiet, life becomes spacious. You stop managing impressions and start enjoying presence. You stop maintaining appearances and start cultivating peace. Chosen One. This is why God often elevates quietly. Not because he is secretive, but because he is careful. He knows how quickly joy can be diluted by pressure. He knows how easily blessing can be consumed by obligation. Silence is his way of saying, "This is for you, not for display." There are levels of richness that have nothing to do with accounts. The ability to cut your own grass because you have time, not because you lack money. The ability to rest without guilt. The ability to choose simplicity even when abundance is available. These are signs of a soul that has not been overtaken by its own provision. As you step further into alignment, let this truth settle. When you get rich, tell no one, not because you are hiding, but because you are honoring what God has entrusted to you. Protection precedes expansion. Discernment precedes overflow. And once more, remember that God does not always reinforce these truths with sound or instruction. Sometimes there is simply something quiet, steady, and already prepared, resting just below, waiting to be returned to when your spirit needs stillness more than explanation. Chosen One. There is a particular tiredness that comes not from doubt, but from endurance. It is the fatigue of staying faithful after the excitement has faded, of believing when nothing new is happening on the surface. This is not weakness. This is the weight of carrying a promise that has not yet fully unfolded. Many people fall away here, not because they stopped believing, but because the waiting became quieter than they expected. Anointed One. Heaven is not confused about timing, even when your emotions are. There are seasons where nothing looks like progress, yet everything is being aligned underneath. Roots grow in silence. Foundations form out of sight. What feels like delay is often God teaching you how to live without constant reassurance, not because he has withdrawn, but because he trusts what he has already planted in you. I have lived through these stretches, days where nothing dramatic happened, weeks where prayers felt repetitive, mornings where faith looked like showing up, doing the ordinary, and refusing to spiral when answers did not arrive on schedule. There is a kind of obedience that does not shout, it simply stays. That obedience is rare, and heaven pays attention to it. Chosen One. Waiting exposes where we used emotion as fuel instead of conviction. When the rush disappears, what remains is what actually sustains you. This is where many discover that faith is not proven by intensity, but by consistency. Reading the same promise again, choosing peace again, saying no to despair again. These are not small acts. They are the daily construction of a life that can hold what is coming. Anointed One. There are moments when you may wonder if you misheard God, not because the promise vanished, but because the process feels longer than expected. This does not mean you were wrong. It means the vision is maturing. Scripture reminds us that the vision speaks at the appointed time, and though it lingers, it will not fail. Lingering is not absence. Lingering is preparation. I remember seasons where my faith was tested not by hardship, but by monotony. Same routine, same responsibilities, same unanswered questions. It was tempting to look for signs, confirmations, or new words. But what steadied me was not new revelation. It was returning to what I already knew was true, the same way you return to a familiar path when the fog thickens. Chosen one. This part of the journey teaches you how to live without leaning on adrenaline. It trains you to draw strength from alignment instead of urgency. When the breakthrough finally manifests, you will recognize it not because it feels overwhelming, but because it feels right. Peace will accompany it. Clarity will sit beside it. You will not need to convince yourself. Anointed one. Heaven watches how you treat the waiting. Not to judge you, but to see what kind of steward you are becoming. Do you abandon discipline when excitement fades, or do you remain anchored? Do you chase new feelings, or do you return to truth? These quiet decisions shape your capacity more than any sudden miracle ever could. There is also grief in waiting, grief for timelines you imagined, grief for versions of life you expected sooner. God is not offended by this. He meets you here. But He does not remove you from the process, because the process is doing something sacred inside you. It is separating dependence on outcomes from devotion to purpose. Chosen one. There are days when faith feels heavy, when prayer feels simple instead of soaring, when obedience looks like doing the next right thing without applause. These are not failures. These are the days that prove you are no longer fueled by spectacle. You are fueled by trust. I have learned that some of the strongest spiritual moments happen in silence. Not because something extraordinary occurred, but because I chose to stay grounded when nothing did. Washing dishes, driving familiar roads, sitting in quiet rooms where no one could see the internal wrestling. God was there, not loud, not dramatic, present. Faith, I have noticed, is often steadied through simple, repeatable reminders rather than constant explanation or dramatic signs. There is a quiet reminder mentioned in the description below, placed there not to move you forward, but to help you return when the waiting feels long. Anointed one, do not mistake stillness for stagnation. Your obedience in obscurity is forming muscle you will need when the blessing becomes visible. Public elevation requires private stamina. What you are enduring now is not wasted. It is calibrating your nervous system, your reactions, your expectations. Chosen one. The promise has not expired. Heaven does not forget. But heaven also does not rush what must last. When the time comes, you will see why it could not arrive earlier. You will understand why silence protected you, why patience preserved you, why waiting refined you. Until then, your assignment is not to strain forward, but to remain aligned. To wake up, do what is in front of you, and refuse to interpret delay as rejection. The seed is alive, the roots are spreading, the soil is being prepared for weight. And when the shift finally comes, you will not feel surprised. You will feel ready. Chosen one. There is a shift that happens quietly inside you, long before anything changes around you. It is the moment when you stop chasing reassurance and start trusting alignment. This is where many do not realize they have crossed a threshold. The need to explain yourself fades. The urgency to prove disappears. You begin to value stability over speed, depth over display, obedience over outcome. Anointed one. This is where heaven begins to trust you with more weight. Not because you asked louder, but because you learned how to carry silence without collapsing. Wealth, influence, and access require emotional regulation as much as spiritual maturity. God does not release what will destabilize you. He releases what will multiply through you without eroding who you are. I remember realizing one day that my prayers had changed. They were no longer desperate, they were steady. I stopped asking God to hurry and started asking Him to keep me aligned. That change did not feel powerful in the moment, but it marked the beginning of real authority. Authority is calm. It does not rush the room. It enters quietly and holds its ground. Chosen one. This season teaches you how to hold abundance internally before it manifests externally. You practice contentment without stagnation, expectation without anxiety, faith without theatrics. These are rare combinations. Most people only know how to believe when emotion is high. You are learning how to believe when life feels neutral. Anointed one, there is also protection in this internal shift. When you are no longer moved by the opinions of others, you stop leaking energy. You stop explaining choices that were never meant to be debated. You stop negotiating boundaries that God already established. This is how peace becomes sustainable. You may notice that certain conversations no longer interest you, certain environments feel loud, certain ambitions feel hollow. This is not loss. This is refinement. God is narrowing your focus so that when provision increases, distraction does not increase with it. I have found that some of the greatest temptations arrive not as sin, but as noise. Invitations, opinions, expectations, opportunities that look good but pull you off center. Silence helps you hear what aligns and what drains. It sharpens discernment. Chosen one. This is also where humility deepens, not the performative kind, but the grounded kind. You know what you carry, and you no longer need external confirmation. This frees you from both pride and insecurity. You can receive blessing without inflation, correction without collapse, delay without despair. There is a reason Scripture often associates wisdom with stillness. Wisdom does not compete. It waits. It observes. It responds only when necessary. God is forming that posture in you. When the transfer comes, you will not mishandle it because you have already practiced restraint. Anointed one, understand this. Heaven does not reward chaos. It rewards order. Not control, but alignment. What you are becoming now is someone who can steward quietly, move deliberately, and rest without guilt. These qualities protect wealth far more than strategies ever could. You are not missing anything. You are not behind. You are being positioned. When the doors open, you will walk through without scrambling, without panic, without spectacle. You will recognize the timing because your spirit will already be settled. Chosen one. This part of the journey is where impatience is replaced by confidence, not confidence in yourself alone, but confidence in the one who ordered your steps. You are no longer asking if it will happen. You are preparing for how you will live when it does. And that preparation is not loud. It looks like ordinary days done faithfully, choices made consistently, boundaries held quietly, trust practiced daily. This is how heaven builds something that lasts. Chosen one. There is a sacred difference between waiting and wandering. Waiting stays aligned. Wandering searches for substitutes. You are not wandering anymore. You are waiting with intention. That distinction matters in the unseen realm. It signals readiness. Anointed one. Many people think wealth changes life overnight. What actually changes overnight is visibility, pressure, expectation, responsibility. If those arrive before your inner world is prepared, they fracture you. But when they arrive after alignment, they serve you. I have seen people receive what they prayed for and lose what they needed. Peace, family, direction, self. Not because the blessing was wrong, but because the timing was premature. God has been sparing you from that outcome. What felt like slowness was precision. Chosen one. This is also why you have been led to simplify, to declutter relationships, to reduce noise, to choose fewer things with more meaning. These are not aesthetic choices, they are structural. You are building a life that can hold increase without collapse. Anointed one, notice how your reactions have changed. What once triggered anxiety now invites pause. What once demanded explanation now receives silence. This is growth. This is capacity expanding quietly. I remember realizing that my nervous system had learned to rest even before circumstances improved. That was the breakthrough before the breakthrough. When peace becomes internal, provision can become external without shaking you. Chosen one. There is also a shift in how you see others. You no longer need to compare. You no longer need to compete. You can celebrate without measuring yourself. This protects you from envy and protects others from projection. Healthy wealth requires healthy perspective. Heaven is forming you into someone who can be trusted with access. Not just financial access, but relational access, influence, opportunity. These things travel together. How you handle one affects how you steward the others. Anointed one. This is why your life may feel quieter than those around you. You are not in a holding pattern. You are in formation. Soldiers are trained before deployment. Builders measure before construction. God does not skip steps. Chosen one. When the moment arrives, it will not feel chaotic. It will feel ordered. You will know what to say no to. You will know what to protect. You will know what to release and what to retain. That clarity is being cultivated now. Do not despise these days. They are shaping your discernment more than you realize. They are teaching you how to move without rushing and rest without quitting. The transfer will not overwhelm you because you are becoming someone who can carry it. And when it does come, your life will not need to announce it. The fruit will speak. The peace will show. The stability will be evident. This is how heaven prepares those it intends to elevate. Chosen one. There comes a point where the waiting no longer feels like waiting, but like standing watch. You are alert, steady, no longer pacing the floor of your mind. This is the posture of someone who knows the promise is real, even if the evidence has not yet surfaced. You are not bracing for impact anymore. You are positioned. Anointed one. This is where many misunderstand what readiness looks like. They think it feels like excitement or certainty. In truth, readiness feels like calm. It feels like restraint. It feels like knowing you could move quickly if needed, but choosing not to until the signal is clear. Heaven values this restraint because it mirrors trust. I have noticed that just before major shifts, life often becomes deceptively normal. No fireworks, no dramatic confirmations, just a quiet sense that something is aligned, even if nothing has changed outwardly. This is not anticlimax. This is stabilization. God settles you before he moves you. Chosen one. At this stage, temptation often comes disguised as impatience, the urge to force movement, to create momentum where heaven has not yet spoken, to announce readiness instead of embodying it. But forced motion always costs more than it yields. Alignment waits for permission, not validation. Anointed one, notice how your discernment has sharpened. You can sense when something is almost right but not quite. You can feel when timing is off, even if logic says it should work. This sensitivity is not anxiety, it is wisdom growing muscle. You are learning to trust the quiet check in your spirit more than the loud push of opportunity. There were times earlier in your life when you moved too fast because you did not yet know how to rest in certainty. You thought speed meant faith. Now you understand that faith can stand still without fear. This is not stagnation. This is mastery. Chosen one, there is also a separation happening internally. You are no longer impressed by things that once distracted you. Status feels hollow. Excess feels noisy. You are drawn to what is clean, simple, sustainable. This shift is essential because what is coming will require clarity, not clutter. I have found that when God prepares someone for increase, He reduces unnecessary complexity. He teaches you to live with margin, emotional margin, mental margin, time margin. This margin is what allows blessing to expand without consuming you. Anointed one, this is where you begin to recognize that silence itself has become familiar, not threatening. You are no longer filling space to soothe insecurity. You are comfortable letting things be unresolved until they are resolved properly. This patience will protect you later when decisions carry more weight. Chosen one, you are also learning how to observe without reacting, how to listen without absorbing, how to stand present without being pulled into every current around you. These are not passive traits. They are signs of leadership forming beneath the surface. Heaven entrusts influence to those who can remain steady when others project onto them. Wealth, access, and authority magnify projection. People assume motives. They assign roles. They expect responses. Your ability to remain centered will keep you from being shaped by those expectations. Anointed one, the promise has not been delayed because you were unworthy. It has been paced because it is precise. God does not rush what must endure. When the transfer comes, it will land on something solid, not something still shifting. You may feel the nearness without knowing the date. That is intentional. Knowing timing too early often invites fear or control. God keeps certain things veiled so trust remains relational, not transactional. Chosen one, what you are carrying now is not anticipation, but readiness. You are not leaning forward anxiously. You are standing upright, grounded, aware. This is how you recognize that the process has worked. When the moment arrives, you will not need to scramble. You will not need to explain. You will not need to convince yourself. You will simply move, because your spirit will recognize the alignment immediately. This is the posture heaven looks for: quiet strength, settled faith, readiness without noise. Chosen one. There is a final refinement that happens when trust becomes instinctive. You stop asking "what if" and start living as though alignment is already enough. This is not resignation. This is deep confidence. You are no longer rehearsing outcomes in your mind. You are present in your life as it is, knowing it is connected to what is coming. Anointed one, this is where peace becomes the indicator. Not excitement, not urgency. Peace. When peace remains, even as uncertainty lingers, it signals that your spirit is no longer dependent on control. God values this more than visible preparation. I have learned that the greatest sign of readiness is the absence of striving. When effort becomes intentional instead of anxious, when planning feels measured instead of desperate. When you can imagine the blessing without clinging to it, that is when heaven knows you can receive without being overtaken. Chosen one. At this stage, your faith has matured beyond asking for signs. You do not need repeated confirmation. You know the voice that spoke to you, and you have learned to recognize it even when it whispers. This familiarity is what will guide you when decisions become more complex. Anointed One, the transfer that is approaching is not just financial, it is relational, vocational, emotional. Your life will expand in multiple directions, and your ability to remain centered will determine how well you steward that expansion. I have seen people gain resources and lose rhythm, gain access and lose boundaries, gain opportunity and lose themselves. God has been preventing that outcome in your life by shaping your internal pace before altering your external reality. Chosen One, this is why your days may feel grounded rather than dramatic, why joy feels quieter but deeper, why gratitude has replaced anticipation as your dominant posture. These are not signs of settling, they are signs of maturity. You are no longer living for the breakthrough moment. You are living from alignment. And alignment sustains far longer than adrenaline ever could. Anointed One, when the door opens, you will walk through without abandoning what made you ready. You will carry peace with you. You will carry discernment with you. You will carry restraint with you. These are the true safeguards of increase. There will be no need to announce what has changed. Those who are meant to know will recognize it by the fruit. Those who are not will not need explanation. Your life will speak clearly without becoming loud. Chosen One, heaven does not elevate to impress, it elevates to establish. What is coming will stabilize you, not destabilize you. It will free you, not entangle you. It will expand your capacity without erasing your identity. You have been prepared for this quietly, thoughtfully, patiently. Every unseen day mattered, every ordinary moment contributed. Nothing was wasted. Stand where you are, remain aligned. The shift does not need to be chased. It will arrive exactly where you are standing. This is how the promise completes its work. Chosen One, as this moment closes, receive this truth with reverence. What heaven has begun does not need to be rushed, explained, or displayed. The transfer already in motion is not loud, but it is certain. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the exact timing appointed for you, where wisdom rises higher than impulse and peace guards what God entrusts to your hands. Anointed One, what is coming will not demand performance. It will invite alignment. Spend what is given on what preserves life, strengthens the body, steadies the mind, and deepens connection. Invest in rest, in health, in quiet comfort, in moments that restore rather than impress. Let generosity flow where love is real and motives are clean. Let passion remain pure, not inflated by comparison, but nourished by gratitude. Know this: heaven does not release abundance to distract you, but to free you. What you carry next will serve purpose, not ego. Walk forward with humility, discernment, and thanksgiving, knowing that silence will protect what celebration never could. If this word settled in your spirit, you are welcome to acknowledge it, to stand with others walking this same quiet path, and to remain connected as these seasons unfold together. There is also a gentle reminder placed in the pinned comment and the description, prepared for moments when the heart needs steadiness more than explanation. May peace guard you. May wisdom lead you. May what God has prepared arrive without resistance, and may you steward it in quiet strength.